One game. That's all it took. In his professional debut, Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick, gave us a glimpse of everything: the generational talent and the glaring red flags. We saw the explosive athleticism and the brilliant defensive mind, but we also saw the box score: 10 points on a staggering 5 for 21 shooting. This performance has created a fascinating divide. Is Flagg the modern forward who will define the next era for the Dallas Mavericks? Or do these numbers signal a high-volume, low-efficiency player who will struggle to adapt? What is the real story here? And what can we actually expect from him over his first 10 games? We're not dealing in hot takes. We're breaking down the film, digging into the numbers, and delivering a data-driven prediction for the NBA's most talked-about rookie. To understand Cooper Flagg, you have to look past that shooting percentage. Because underneath those misses, he showcased the elite, game-changing skills that made him the consensus #1 pick. This isn't about long-term potential. This is about immediate impact. First, the defense. This is Flagg's calling card. And frankly, it's already as good as advertised. He isn't just a shot blocker. He is a defensive cornerstone. His instincts are preternatural, allowing him to guard multiple positions, from the perimeter to the paint. His debut stat line doesn't capture the full story, but his impact was undeniable. The most electrifying moment wasn't a complex offensive move. It was a steal in the open court, leading to a coast-to-coast tomahawk dunk. That single play is the thesis statement for his value. It's the ability to turn defense into offense that draws comparisons to players like Andrei Kirilenko and a young Scottie Pippen, players whose value was never captured by points per game alone. This gives him an incredibly high floor. Even on a night where his shot isn't falling, he fundamentally alters the game. But he's not just a defensive specialist. The second wow factor is his basketball IQ as a playmaker. In a league filled with athletic forwards, Flagg stands out for his mind. Averaging nearly 4 assists per game as a forward at Duke was no fluke. In fact, his 4 assists in his debut, on a night where he was clearly hunting for his own shot, speaks volumes. He sees the floor like a point guard, capable of making the right read in the pick and roll and finding open teammates. On this Mavericks team, his ability to be a connective piece who keeps the ball moving is invaluable. He consistently makes the right play, a trait remarkably advanced for an 18-year-old. Finally, there's the unshakable competitiveness. You don't take 21 shots in your professional debut if you lack confidence. While the efficiency was poor, the willingness to remain aggressive is a positive sign. There was a moment he hit a step-back jumper that got a visible, appreciative reaction from the Mavericks bench. It's that fearlessness, that belief that he belongs, that separates good players from great ones. However, to paint a complete picture, we have to address the 5 for 21 shooting. The hype is justified, but the path to superstardom is never a straight line. That inefficient debut wasn't just a bad night. It was a spotlight on the weaknesses he must address to reach his ceiling. The primary concern is shooting consistency. While he shot a respectable percentage in college, the NBA is a different beast. In his debut, he went 0 for 5 from three-point range. His shot form is solid, but it can be slow, more of a set shot, which NBA defenders will have no trouble closing out on. The question isn't whether he can shoot, it's whether he can do it efficiently against longer, faster defenders. Was his poor shooting a result of bad selection, or just a cold night? The truth is likely a combination of both. For him to become a true 3-level scorer, that jumper has to become a reliable weapon. This leads to the second area of concern: elite shot creation. Right now, Flagg is an excellent complementary piece. He thrives in transition and as a cutter. But can he be the guy you give the ball to at the end of the shot clock to create a high-percentage look? That remains to be seen. His handle is good, but not yet at the level where he can consistently break down defenders in isolation. He has a tendency to settle for tough jumpers instead of using his size to attack the rim. The good news is, on this Mavericks team, he won't be asked to be that guy from day one. He can grow into that role. But it is the next step in his offensive evolution. Finally, the physical aspect. At just 18 years old, Flagg is still growing into his frame. He will need to add significant strength to handle the nightly grind of battling NBA power forwards. Veteran players will test his physicality early and often. We can expect some welcome to the NBA moments. This isn't a knock on his potential. It's the reality for nearly every young forward entering the league. Now, let's synthesize all of this into a tangible prediction. What will Cooper Flagg's performance actually look like over his first 10 games? This isn't about one night, but about establishing a baseline for his rookie year. Let's start with the statistics. His scoring will be a roller coaster. His shot volume will remain high as the coaching staff empowers him to play through mistakes. Over his first 10 games, we project an average of 13.5 points per game on around 39% shooting. He'll have a 25-point explosion, and he'll also have an 8-point struggle. His rebounding, however, will translate immediately. We project 7.5 rebounds per game. His playmaking will also be a constant. Look for him to average 3.5 assists per game. But the stat category that will define his early career is stocks, steals plus blocks. This is where he will make his mark. A projection of 3.0 stocks per game is not only possible, but likely. He would generate fast breaks with his hands and deter shots at the rim, consistently filling up the defensive side of the box score. Beyond the numbers, the narrative of his first 10 games will follow a predictable arc. There will be an initial overreaction to his shooting. Then, there will be a game-winning defensive play. A sequence where he gets a block on one end and a dunk on the other. That will be the moment the conversation shifts. The narrative will pivot from, can he score efficiently, to, his defense is already elite, and the offense is a work in progress. By the end of this 10-game stretch, he will be firmly in the Rookie of the Year conversation. Not because of dominant scoring, but because of his undeniable all-around impact. So let's go back to the central question. After his explosive but inefficient debut, is Cooper Flagg a franchise savior or a long-term project? The answer is, he's both. From day one, he projects as a defensive savior, a player who can elevate an entire team's defensive ceiling. That part is not a project, it is a reality. Offensively, however, he is a project, but one with the highest possible ceiling. He has the tools, the work ethic, and the perfect environment in Dallas to methodically build his offensive game.
The journey to conquer the NBA is just getting started, but one thing is for sure. The kid from Maine has already changed the map of the basketball world forever.
What do you think is Cooper Flagg's biggest strength as he heads to the pros? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you're excited to see what he does next.